On Monday, 26th of October 2015, Dr. Ahmad Shahid, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Iran, published a 26-page report in which he warned about the 25% increase in the number of executions in Iran and stated that the number of executions in Iran is higher than that of any other country. According to a report by Reuters, on the 26th of October 2015, Ahmad Shahid stated that about 700 people were executed in the year 2015 alone. Furthermore, Amnesty International stated that during the first 6 months of the year 2015, at least 694 people were executed in Iran. During the year 2014, at least 753 people were executed in Iran, and according to the predictions made by Ahmad Shahid, the number of executions in 2015 is likely to reach 1,000. 13 pop singers and a pop musical band in Iran wrote an open letter and objected towards discriminations faced by singers and musicians who want to hold a live performance in Iran. According to the Iranian labor news agency, Alireza Jozini, Iran's drug control headquarters, said that the city of Tehran now requires a special center that looks after newborns that are addicted to drugs. The International Bar Association's Human Rights Institute released a statement requesting the Iranian government to release the imprisoned human rights lawyer Abdul Fattah Soltani. Abdul Fattah Soltani, a human rights lawyer who was arrested during September 2012 on charges of receiving Nuremberg International Human Rights Award and was given a 13 years imprisonment sentence. Narges Mohammadi, the Deputy Director of Human Rights Defenders, who suffer from pulmonary embolism and muscular paralysis, was recently transferred from the Evin prison to the hospital due to a seizure and worsening of her conditions. However, on Wednesday, 28th of October 2015, she was soon returned back to the prison despite the doctor's request for her to remain in the hospital. 2 months after 2 men were attacked by acid and were hospitalized in Kerman Hospital, a 30-year-old woman from the city of Rafsanjan became a victim of acid attack, and with a very high percentage of burns over her body, she was transferred to the Ali ibn Abi Talib Hospital. On Monday, 26th of October 2015, a number of nursery teachers gathered in front of the Islamic Parliament in Tehran, demanding for a change in their occupational status and to be employed within the system of Ministry of Education with their experience in this field. Mohammad Habibi, a member of the Iranian Teachers Trade Association, announced that the situation of Rasul Baddaghi is very worrying after being in the solitary confinement for the past 5 months without any legitimate reason. The trade union of Ahvaz Metro entered its 23rd day of protests. Protesters have been gathering in front of the Kaysan Contractor Building in Iqbal City for the past month in protest against the negligence of employers to pay wages. On Monday, 26th of October 2015, Labour Resources informed that Parveen Mohammadi, a member of the board of directors of the Free Union of Iranian Workers, was summoned to the Ministry of Intelligence. Ali Faizpour, a Labour activist who was given a temporary detention in the central prison of Tabriz, was transferred to branch 12 of this prison after rejecting his objection towards the lengthening of his temporary detention. Due to the lack of safety in the workplace, a worker fell off a building during construction in the city of Hamadan and lost his life. The Public Service Alliance of Canada, one of Canada's largest national labour unions, who have previously defended the rights of teachers a number of times by writing letters to the Iranian authorities, have recently issued a statement condemning the death of Shahrokh Zamani inside the prison, who was an imprisoned labour activist. a steel company caused the death of a 33-year-old worker by hiring a forklift without insurance and a driver without any driving license.
Keith Ellison, the first Muslim to be elected to the United States House of Representatives, asked the Iranian authorities to free Jason Rezaian, who has been detained for more than a year. On Monday, 26th of October, a group of activists and supporters of Irfan Ahl Halqe, as usual, protested against the death sentence of Muhammad Ali Taheri and stealing his 250-page written defense against his sentence, as well as his unfair process of court trial. In this protest, which took place on Monday in front of the Dena Tire Company, Mohammad Malaki, Mohammad Nourizad, Gohar Eshqi, who is Sattar Beheshti's mother, Farah Bakhshi, who is mother of Amin Anwari, and other libertarians demanded their rights to be immediately respected. Sohail Babadi, a political prisoner in Rajai Shahr prison, is suffering from kidney problems, and the prison officials are not allowing him to be transferred to the hospital for treatment. Sohail Babadi was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison on charges of blasphemy and was recently sentenced to another 7 years in prison on charges of assembly and coalition against the national security and insulting the supreme leader. Ismail Qarami Muqaddam, a member of National Trust Party, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Siamak Namazi, the head of strategic planning for Dubai-based oil and gas company Crescent Petroleum, was arrested in Tehran. The security forces visited the house of a poet in Ahvaz, and in his absence, they summoned him to the Ministry of Intelligence. Shapur Rashno, a civil rights activist with a national religious orientation who was arrested on 16th of November 2014, had his imprisonment sentence extended. On the death anniversary of Sattar Beheshti, several activists who was participating in the gathering of Sattar Beheshti's memorial were detained for several hours without a warrant.
The Freedom House, an organization that monitors civil liberties around the world, in their latest report announced that over the past year, China had the most internet censorship, followed by Syria and then Iran. Previously, the Iranian media had reported that 24 singers were prohibited from any activities due to working with Radio Javan website, broadcasting their music videos on satellite televisions, and held some concerts outside of Iran. On Monday, 26th of October 2015, during a press conference, Hossein Nushabadi, spokesman for the Ministry of Islamic Culture and Guidance, once again stressed that the Ministry of Islamic Culture and Guidance has not released a list of artists that have been banned from professional activity. However, he requested that artists refrain from working with independent media outside of Iran. According to the reports by the Iranian media, Mahmoud Waizi, Iran's Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, said that 13 to 14 million people use the Telegram messaging application in Iran. During a press conference with his Russian counterpart who visited Tehran, Mahmoud Waizi referred to Telegram as a social network attributed to Russia and announced that this system is in operation today without restrictions with the policies of Ministry of Communications. Telegram has announced that they have 20 million users in Iran, making it one of the most popular messaging applications in Iran.
Ayatollah Muhammad Reza Nakhunam, one of the main professors in Qom Seminary and a cleric who has been in a special clerical section of Evin prison since March, due to having an opposing view to Ayatollah Makarem Shirazi, has been denied of his rights to visit his family and from going to hospital due to refusing to wear the prison uniform. The Fariqtekan newspaper's Monday report announced that on more than 3 occasions in recent months, 10 people, 3 of them who were armed, attacked a group of boys and girls who were walking through a forest in north of Qazvin. It was stated that the boys were tied to trees and threatened with firearms, and the girls were raped. Based on this report, the defendants were arrested a month ago, and the jury has issued an indictment that includes the death penalty against the criminals. However, after Jamal Ansari, the Chief Justice of Qazvin, announced the arrest of the several people on charges of rape, on Tuesday 27th of October, the Iranian student news agency ISNA stated that Esmail Sadeghi Niyaki, the prosecutor of the city of Qazvin, said that in this case no one has yet been convicted of rape, and that the 19-year-old boy and a few others that were arrested were charged with robbery. On 28th of October 2015, Hossein Ashtari, Iran's police chief, said that the numerous reports about cases of rape in Qazvin was fabricated only to disturb the public opinion, and confirmed in his case 3 people, including an individual accused of rape, made a complaint about this situation. Mohsen Gharavian, a cleric in Islamic philosophy, friend of Hassan Khomeini, in an interview with Entekhabat website, revealed that Ayatollah Khomeini's institution, which is being directed by Mesbah Yazdi, is a system based on interrogation and inspection of those with different religious beliefs. The disclosure of such an information was a result of verbal attack towards Mohsen Gharavian through websites such as Partoe Sukhan that are linked to Mesbah Yazdi. Local sources from Sistan and Baluchistan reported that the Iranian Revolutionary Guards sent indigenous forces to the deprived areas, attempting to persuade and invite the poor and the unemployed youths to attend training courses in order to get ready to be sent to Syria. The condition of Ali Reza Golipur, a security prisoner in Section 7 of the Evin prison, has been reported to be very critical, and after his transfer to the prison clinic, the prison doctors stated that due to his emergency situation, it is not possible to treat him in this clinic, and requested for Ali Reza Golipur to be transferred to a medical center outside of the prison. According to Tehran's criminal investigator, 6 policemen who were on duty to travel from Sabzawar to Tehran to arrest murderers who had escaped from prison, opened fire towards 2 men, which resulted to their death. It was later discovered that the 2 men were in fact innocent and not the criminals that the police were after. Mashallah Hairi, a political prisoner in Rajai Shahr prison, was returned from the hospital. A 6th grade elementary school teacher in one of the Ashnavieh schools committed suicide by hanging himself. The school in Yasuj, located in central Kuliye and Buyer Ahmad, have not enough space, equipment and teaching facilities, such as that the students have had to sit on floor for education.